Welcome to the Flathead Valley Real Estate Market Recap. Let's take a look at the July highlights. Residential. 1,037 active listings wrapped up the month, with 225 fresh properties making their debut on the market. Buyer interest remains steady, with 196 homes under contract and 149 successfully selling, landing at a median sale price of $632,000. 70 homes closed under $600,000, while 46 homes sold in the $600,000 to the $999,000 range. 33 luxury properties over $1 million found their new owners. Land. 593 parcels were available, offering buyers plenty of options to bring their vision of land ownership to life. July welcomed 101 new listings, 48 went under contract, and 37 excited buyers celebrated their land purchase milestone. Commercial. 122 active listings rounded out the month. 11 new commercial opportunities entered the scene. 12 deals are currently pending, and 5 commercial properties officially have a new owner. Status update. 16 residential listings were withdrawn, 27 expired, and 43 were canceled. The month of July holds a total of 353 price-reduced residential properties that are currently on the market. As we close out July and enter August, the numbers, well, they've stayed nearly the same as last month. This tells me it's a market that's finding its balance. After the shifts we've recently seen, this leveling out offers a sense of stability, both for buyers and sellers.
Ryan, thank you so much for those numbers.
Yeah, you got it.
I love hearing everything that's going on this summer. Let's dive right into it. We're talking about what, developments?
We're going to be talking about developments and overall infrastructure that's happening in the Flathead.
Yep.
We've been talking about this all year, on and off, between Holly, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some common threads here, like some of the stuff you've heard. So some of it's kind of like an update in the status of projects that are happening here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot to get through. So
Okay.
I bring it. Put your helmet on. There's definitely going to be a lot of reading here because, of course, I can't commit it all to memory.
No, but it's good. Good conversation. Basis now.
So we're going to have a conversation about improvements to roadways in a handful of developments that are happening that we think are interesting and that are good for the community. So I'm just going to kick it off. We can just dive right into infrastructure. And by infrastructure, we're just talking about roadways. There's been a new development just recently on Highway 2 from Rose Crossing to the airport, Glacier International Airport. Mm-hmm. So I think they're just resurfacing the road, but it's going to be an undertaking. We know that road repair here takes forever. And this is, I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but I'm seeing that it's, the end of, through the fall.
Yep.
Is there hope? I'm not going to hold my breath, but it's going to be awesome to have that road cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very busy road. It's 4 lanes of traffic. People drive super fast. It's got the divots in the roadway there.
Yep.
So it's long overdue, and I have no problem sitting in traffic knowing that road's going to be better. And I can't wait until they go north of there and go from the airport up to Highway 40.
Well, and it's not even that bad. Like Carly and I were going to the airport for a trip the other day, and it actually says Glacier International Airport delays. It's like an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's nothing big, but to have that in place will be huge for our community.
Yeah. So keep that in mind if you're heading over to the airport. Give yourself an extra 5-10 minutes, like you said.
Exactly.
And I think it's probably just going to be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Because we don't work overnight here, which is another thing I think is odd. DOT.
Sometimes.
But yeah, I got some notes here. They're going to remove and replace the pavement, apply chip and seal, and fog seal, crack sealing shoulders and median, resurfacing the motor carrier service way station, installing shoulder rumble strips, updated signage markings, ADA compliant curb ramp upgrades at Rose Crossing, and electrical enhancement at the intersection at Rose Crossing and Birch Grove Road. Okay. It needs to be done, and I'm glad it's here. I frankly don't care how long it takes, but that's a good one.
Yep.
Another one we've talked about a lot is US 93 northwest, due west, but to me north of
going towards
Whitefish.
Eureka.
Yeah. That's a project that started this spring. So the plan on that is they're going to be obviously putting in a new driving surface, designated turn lanes, guardrails with wider shoulders, and improved signage. They are estimating finish date a fall 2026. To my point of taking a while, but this one's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, they migratory birds,
Yep.
and that so the nesting seasons and all that you actually have to pause for.
Yep.
And also, I mean, that road when you have driven to Eureka a few times, that specific section is just like
a roller coaster.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So like to have that smooth and to have like, you know, that access a little bit, you know, more, I guess, the bottleneck out of it will be huge.
It's going to be, yeah, but also just like the geography of that land. It's very rolling hills up and down. So it's going to be a lot of work. And we've been out there. I've driven out there a bunch of times. They're clearing a ton of trees. It's a project, but 3 miles, of course, I wish it could happen faster. Reserve to Highway 2. This is another one we've been talking about a lot.
Yeah.
This is not just road and infrastructure. It ties into the development.
They're getting there too. Like
yeah,
I was recently.
this one's moving along. And again, we've talked about this. If you live here, you know about this already. But if you're coming to the area to visit, you know, be mindful. If you're standing in Whitefish and you got to run to Kalispell into the big box stores, know that you might see some traffic. If you're planning to use Reserve to get across to the airport, maybe you're staying in a hotel in Kalispell or you're taking an Uber, think ahead. Because you could get stuck there for a while.
It's like at least a 10-minute light.
Yeah, for sure. Like I travel down Whitefish Stage a lot into Kalispell from my house, and if you don't catch that light, they hold traffic for at least 10 minutes in between lights.
Yep.
So bring a book, put it in park, enjoy the scenery.
Or go down Rose Crossing.
Yeah, or you could do Rose Crossing. You cut across, but
Yep.
even though it takes longer, I prefer Whitefish Stage because it's a more scenic drive and it's a nice way to get my day started.
It's beautiful.
But a little bit about that. Let me read some things here. MDT and the City of Kalispell are widening Reserve Drive from Hutton Ranch Road to Whitefish Stage Road from 3 to 5 lanes, adding a center turn lane, replacing the Stillwater River bridge deck with sidewalks. Interesting that they're replacing it. To me, it looks like they added a portion to it. They're widening it, but maybe they're leaving some of it there.
I thought they were just attaching more to it, but
Yeah.
we'll see that. Like as they go, they might just replace that other part of the bridge too, but just do it one at a time.
And
Who
I think
knows?
that's probably the biggest reason why it's taking so long, because we're dealing with water.
Yeah, water and bridges.
And water and bridges, and like Flathead County and all of Montana for that matter, we care a lot about our waterways. So they're taking their time, they're doing it right. It's painful now, but it's going to be well worth it. Something I saw that was interesting is the influx of people coming here and why we need this improvement to the infrastructure.
100%.
The corridor's traffic volume has increased dramatically with projections up to 32,600 vehicles per day by 2040. Crash rates have doubled over the last decade, prompting infrastructure upgrades to reduce congestion and improve safety. So you've turned into that, what's the gas station right there? Across from Home Depot.
Oh, Costco? Or no, Costco, wow. No, you're talking about Town Pump, yep.
Yeah, so like just turning left there is nuts. So I'm really hopeful that they'll put a light there and people coming out of Home Depot into that. And then you have the Toyota dealership. Is it Toyota around the corner?
It's Corwin.
Corwin Honda.
Yep.
So they needed to fix this. There definitely is always like a little fender bender there. And I'm excited about it. And more so, like, this is important because this is going to provide better traffic flow into what's known as the Kalispell North Center.
Yeah.
You may or may not know, I'm new here. I've only been here going on 6 years. I've been visiting here for a long time. I feel like I've lived here much longer. But I was unaware of this. But this project that would be north of Reserve on 93, it's where the Ford dealership is. That's where the new Costco and all that stuff is going in.
Yep.
They started that project back in 2008. And at the time, it was at the time it was the largest annexation in Flathead County history, 485 acres. Dang. And the Glacier Town Center, I think that's what they were calling it, and I'm not certain if they. I think it's just going to be called the North Center now. Originally, they wanted to do a 750,000 square foot shopping center.
It's going to be a huge mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank God they didn't.
I know.
We all know how the big box stores went. Everything's online now, so I'm glad they kind of tabled that because that would just be another relic and empty building that are just scattered across America. I grew up in the Northeast in upstate New York, and 80% of the malls are just vacant.
Yep.
It's tragic. Low-income housing, house the homeless, something like.
Or just commercial space above and some sort of outdoor shopping
Yeah.
centers outside. Like there's a lot of different ways they could do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of vacant real estate in this country, and I hope those malls that are not being used, they do something creative with them. So after a decade of inactivity, the Claridge family, they're the original landowners, they resumed development on this, and it's turning into a car dealership, a Costco. There's going to be a bunch of commercial spaces. I believe there's some housing, and they're going to stay in tune with the Montana lifestyle. There's going to be pedestrian walking paths and everything.
It's gonna be nice out there.
Yeah, it's
It's a huge swath.
yeah, it's massive, and I'm hopeful for it. I hope people appreciate it, and I just overall I love everything that the city of Kalispell, how they've planned to put all the commerce in one area. I do think they're missing the mark on not trying to redevelop downtown and make it more beautiful.
That's you and I. That's another podcast. That's
Yeah,
that's another talking point.
don't get a couple drinks in me, but like that's a massive miss. But this is good because it keeps the traffic out of downtown. Everybody kind of meets in the middle of the valley.
Yep.
However, let's not forget about downtown Kalispell.
It'll get there.
It'll get there. But for right now, this is working great, and it helps with flow of traffic.
Agreed.
And just that Costco moving over there, that's going to change everything. The bottleneck that we have coming out of our office and getting over into those stores.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be supporting Eagle Valley Ranch that we know about,
Yep.
and Stillwater Village and Tronstad Meadows, which is 355 unit that's going in
Right across from Silverbrook.
Yeah.
That's gonna be huge. It's a great
So
spot
like,
for
yeah,
it.
that whole 93 from Reserve, I guess to Tronstad, Stillwater's past Tronstad, but to the baseball stadium.
Yep.
Like I envision that someday being chock full of neighborhoods.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's just heading north. We're coming towards you, Whitefish. So
Bridging the gap.
yeah, we're moving in. But another thing, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we've gone enough on that one. We talked a lot about it. Another one. This one's very cool. Been sitting there looking at this piece of land, going, I can't believe that all I've seen here in 6 years is a fireworks stand once a year.
Oh.
This is premium
Yeah.
real estate. It doesn't quite have the views that the other town pump has across the street.
Right to the gateway of the glacier.
Yeah, it's if there was actually a Google search, like the nicest view of any gas station in America, it would be the town pump coming into Whitefish. But right across the corner of it, on the south side of Highway 40 and on the east side of Highway 93,
Yep.
is a new development called Alpine 9340. It's a mixed-use development. It's 11.6 acres on the southeast corner. It's going to feature approximately 210 residential units.
Oh, I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah, it's huge.
Jeez.
You should definitely check out their website. 1 to 2 bedroom apartments, and there's going to be up to 15,000 square feet of first level commercial space.
Okay.
And they're going to have amenities like dog park, playground, again, more shared path use, and a fitness center.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really cool thing. What's really neat about it is at least 10% of the units will be deed restricted for workforce housing.
Oh, nice for like
So,
people
yeah.
in the mountain and stuff.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
we need more of that, especially in Whitefish. Like their whole economy relies on tourism and hospitality, and unfortunately, we don't think about those folks as much
No.
as we should.
Agreed.
So it's 10%. I'll take it. Sometimes wish it was 50, but it's a start.
It is a start everywhere.
So they start clearing the land in May. They're making massive strides. The other day there was a mountain of dirt over there that was like 70 feet tall, and
I
it's
think I
all
saw
smoothed
that.
out and level. They've got the sewer and everything going in. It's moving along quickly, and they're also going to be correcting that traffic light and figuring out new traffic flows, and new
Okay.
landscape buffers. So I think that intersection as a whole is going to see a makeover as well. Don't hold me to that. They're putting in EV charging stations.
Oh, nice.
Love them or hate them, they're
Yeah.
here.
No, I mean
And we
there's a
don't
lot more
have-
of this
yeah.
electronic vehicles
Yeah, we've
here
only
nowadays.
really got, I think there's a Tesla charger, maybe in Glacier. There's an EV charger in the town pump across the street from this community. So now there'll be another cluster of those. So that'll be great. And the development, they recorded in December of 2023. Permit drawings and constructions were Acts are anticipated in spring of 2025, which is already come and gone.
Okay.
And the initial phase possibly completing by late summer of 2026.
All right, that's not too bad.
No, it's not too far
It's a
off.
year from now.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's going to be a new thing you see when you come into Whitefish. I think it's great. I love it. Also, to add to that, there are 2 commercial spaces adjacent to this.
That's right.
Subdivision or this development that's going in. It's a residential and one's a dispensary and like an apartment.
Okay.
Attached to it. It's like a 1.6 acre lots combined. They're being sold separately, separate owners, separate realtors, but it's 1.6 acres combined of Highway 93 frontage.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to see those properties, please reach out to me. Austin is busy, and
That's great.
come check it out. If you've got a vision, I've got plenty of ideas myself. I just don't have that many commas in my bank account, and check it out. It could be a really cool,
Really good opportunity for what's coming up. Yep.
So those are a couple things that are happening that we know are in the works, but I pulled something that is proposed.
Okay.
And this ties back into how I wish we had more housing for
Yep.
folks that can't necessarily afford it. There's a new development called the Outpost at Kalispell. It's a proposed 24-unit affordable housing complex. It's on Appleway Drive when you come off the bypass going by our old office.
Yep. It's right behind Meridian, in between the Meridian and the bypass, right? Yep.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So 1 to 2 bedroom apartments. They're going to do target tenants include residents earning 50 to 60% of the area's median income, aimed at workforce members like teachers, first responders, and service workers.
That's awesome. That's great.
So these are the numbers I'm talking about.
That's what I want to hear.
They're talking about 50 to 60, or
Yeah.
excuse me, they're talking about folks that are earning half of what the rest of us are earning, getting them housing. But then here we go. This is another great thing. 10% of the units, similar to 9340, reserved for vulnerable populations as veterans, domestic violence survivors, and youth aging out of foster care.
That is radical.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I like that.
It's fantastic. So the developers Mack and T.E. Miller are applying for an $8.5 million in funding from the 2026 Montana Tax Credit Housing Program to support this project. I got a note here. Flathead County has a 99.8% occupancy rate for affordable housing, underscoring high demand and urgent need in the area.
98.8.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like, if
These
you're a
numbers are wild.
developer and you can come to this valley and you can build homes at a reasonable price and still make your margins, please come.
Yep.
Like, we need affordable housing. Let's figure it out.
Definitely.
All right. So that's a handful of things that are happening with roads and developments, but I got one more development. This has
big
been,
one.
it's a big one. And this might be my most favorite of all of these, is the aluminum factory in Columbia Falls.
Yep.
We've known about this for a while, but it's starting to get some legs, and I think there's a good possibility that this thing could come to fruition, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm going to read some bullet points about this just to give you an idea about the community, but then maybe we can talk about who's behind it and why I think it's great and all that stuff.
It's a huge vision.
Yeah, huge, huge, huge. So it's going to be called Tea Kettle Heights Development. That's the working name as of right now.
Okay.
And it's being developed by Ruiz Construction, or Mick Ruiz. Everybody who lives here in the valley knows Mick. And he revealed plans for a large mixed-use project on the former Columbia Falls Aluminum Company site, including commercial and residential areas across over 2,200 acres.
I had no idea that was that many acres.
I know. It's when I pulled it up on Cadastral the first time, I was like, what?
I know.
I've never been back there.
Yeah. It's
So-
gigantic.
Yeah, it's just been off limits, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But there's going to be two phases. Phase 1 is 75 acres, 126 single-family homes, 58 townhomes, 240 multi-family units. Phase 2 is 77 acres, 232 single-family homes, 123 townhomes, 432 multi-family units. That's a lot of housing. That's a city.
Pretty much.
It's probably bigger in Columbia Falls.
Well,
at
and
that
what
point.
they're planning on doing is it makes it its own little city.
Exactly. And it includes some sport facilities like pickleball, basketball courts, and baseball fields.
Nice.
Maybe some soccer, who knows. There's a commercial area that they're carving out. It's roughly 400 acres, and it's going to be on the former footprint of the Glencore aluminum factory that was there.
Okay.
And I think the goal there is to bring manufacturing back to Columbia Falls. Like Columbia Falls was built on that aluminum factory.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the vision is let's create this neighborhood. Let's bring in a commercial aspect so these folks have a place to work.
Yep.
Which leads me to believe that the housing, fingers crossed, are going to be more affordable.
Okay.
I don't know any of that to be true, so don't hold me to it. But if you're trying to bring in jobs, and they got to be able to afford to live there.
Yep, 100%.
So infrastructure and annexation. The project would be annexed into Columbia Falls to access city sewer and water. Sewer extension and permits are already underway. And this whole project is underway. Like none of this is set in stone. This is, I'm pulling this data from a recent news article.
Yeah, because that just went live in the Daily Interlake like last week, didn't it?
Like 3 days ago.
Okay,
there was an
that's
article.
right. Yep.
And so I knew a little bit more about it before then, but this is what they're reporting. So blame them if I'm wrong. Potential expansion to include higher end homes. This is in the future, beyond those other ones. Higher end homes in a 1,200 acres of recreational land near Tea Kettle Mountain outside the Superfund site.
Okay.
And that's, well, I guess we'll just keep going and we'll talk about that. The environmental cleanup. Glencore retains 200 acres of landfill under Superfund designation. EPA approved cleanup plan includes slurry walls and soil removal. Estimated cost $57 million.
That's a big chunk.
It's a big chunk. Hopefully there's like government grants and all that stuff to help get it cleaned up. And it won't affect the greater
Yeah, they're going to do it right.
Yeah, I mean, of course they have to do it right. But that's a big chunk of change, and it's going to be an undertaking. But if they can cap that correctly and make it safe for people to live there, why wouldn't you do it?
Yep.
It'll be absolutely incredible. And yeah, this last little bit here, I think we kind of already covered that. But I don't know Mick all that well on a personal level, but we've had interactions with him.
We have.
And what you read about in newspapers. You hear people saying things in the street,
Mm-hmm.
People in our industry and stuff.
Excuse me.
Love him or hate him, what I see him doing in Columbia Falls is very important. And I think it's awesome. Like, from the bottom of my heart, like the guy's been there since the 90s. It helped, it launched him, it built his empire. And all I see him doing is trying to give back to that community. Real estate, it's not his fault that real estate costs as much as it costs here.
No.
He's doing his best to beautify that town. We know it's the gateway. It's the last stop before you go into the park. He wants to make it beautiful.
Well, and he loves Columbia Falls, and I mean, we don't need to name exactly where we were, but we met with him, and he didn't necessarily want to do that project because he knew it'd affect the town.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing. And I mean, you and I were just talking about this beforehand, and it was just like the heart was there. Like, hey, I know what I could do with this, and it'd probably make a lot of money.
Yep.
But the reality is, it would affect the community.
Yeah, and
right?
It's without going into too much detail. When we left that meeting, I was like, oh, this guy has a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously a smart, savvy business guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get it done, but like, he cares. The guy cares about Columbia Falls, and I think he has the gumption to like push this through and get this thing going.
Yep.
And I think it would create a whole other Columbia Falls East, I guess. It would be a whole other city, and if like they could bring manufacturing back to Columbia Falls, what a story.
Yep, exactly.
I'm very excited about it. But yeah, we were talking about that on our trip back from our hike.
From our hike that got cut a day short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did a roughly a 40-mile hike up in Lake Kintla.
3 days?
Yeah, it was brutal. But awesome way to spend your birthday.
Oh, come on. It was beautiful.
No, I had a great time.
If we'd had one more day.
One more day.
One more rest day.
But it was awesome. But we were driving back and talking about that road.
I know.
And a heated debate.
It was.
Erupted in the car. We were with 2 other friends. And I would say I was in the minority. But
that's why we're going to have a little banter here.
Yeah. Because I knew this project was potentially happening. And I love going to Polebridge. I love it. It's the best. I can't get over how many cars I see with blown out tires on the side of the road. And
road's rough.
We're fine. We have the right vehicles. We live here. We know how to navigate that road. I love access, and I wish people had more access to get up there, and it wasn't such a challenge to get to Polebridge. And this development that, you know, potentially could happen over the next 10, 12, 15 years, like maybe that's the domino that finally says, you know what, let's improve that road at least to the first entrance to the park, which is another huge part that plays into everything we're talking about right now. If you're from here and you've been here for decades or generations, it's always a constant complaint. We're tired of all these damn tourists and the traffic. One of the biggest bottlenecks is going into that park.
Yep.
You can go the other side, like, and people don't use it. And like, if that was more accessible and that road was better and they made a more substantial entrance on that side of the park, there's, you know, it solves the problem. It also brings people, you know, down Nucleus into Columbia Falls, getting more business into downtown Columbia Falls. So I want to see it done there, but
well,
you-
no.
you
Well,
and
no,
others.
actually. So the thing is, what's interesting about this is that, like, you know, I'm in real estate, and I do like the idea of development and growth and infrastructure. So what we were having this debate about was just like, you know, we can't make Polebridge into a city, and it was like, I don't think that was like the topic of the conversation. It was just like the access part of it. And so you and I were just talking recently, is like, I was like, well, the thing is, like, yeah, we do have an entrance to the park over to Bowman Lake area, right? The only thing is, like, where does that tie into the rest of the park? And I think that's the question for, like, the National Forest Service, is have they ever thought of bringing another road like through the park from the, you know, the end of Lake McDonald over? And it's like, that's got to be an undertaking.
Oh,
but they
gosh.
did it back in 1912 with the going to the Sun Road.
they sure did.
You know, and so it's like, you know, I mean, that would definitely take that landscape of, I guess it would be the west side of the most western side of the park. It's just that it would only be available more towards Bowman Lake area and Kinla Lake area and all that stuff. So we're just like, that was the debate, was just like, well, no, we want to keep them out. This is our private area.
Yeah.
And I think that's the school of thought a lot of the time. And it's like, well, no, infrastructure is important too, because we were just talking about that at the very beginning of this, is that we want to be able to have it so it's more streamlined. And a lot of times, I, at least living here for 25 years, have seen like Flathead County, you know, make a decision of growth, but then change the infrastructure later. And I'm liking that they're trying to get ahead a little bit more now. So I think that's just like learning, right? So when you go down to, I mean, truly, I would like that road paved. It'd be better for my truck, you know, but also, like, what does that actually do? And that's a lot of mileage, man.
Oh my God, it would be, that's like, you need state and government funding for sure. I don't think any private person would ever pave that. There is a portion on that road when you get to Polebridge that's been paved, and that was probably done by those homeowners and those landowners through there. But I don't know, like, I understand, like, keep Montana how it is. It's why we love it. But like, there's this intelligent way to grow that benefits everybody, and, you know, you mitigate the impact that it has on the land. And I'm hard pressed to believe that paving that road would totally change the integrity of driving up the Clark Fork.
I think what happened is you said that, and there was a couple other people in the car that were just like, rah! Like, it was like that immediate, like, no. And then we're like, hey, let's talk about this. And I mean, I don't know if we changed minds or if you helped change minds. And yes, you were kind of divided. I was just kind of quiet, but I was also really tired. But after we talk about it a little bit more, I understand that part of it, you know?
And just like I don't ever want to see subdivisions all the way to Polebridge.
No.
That is by the farthest thing from the truth. But I do think there's opportunities for spot parts of it, commercial, small things, you know, along the way. Ultimately, it comes back to tourism and hospitality. But like, grow, or if a subdivision did get plopped in between Polebridge and there, like, maybe there's a way to get cheaper land. Maybe, you know, somebody puts land in a trust, or somebody donates land that, you know, that's, you know, where we could have more affordable housing. Like, just because the dirt in the valley, it's expensive, and no one's giving it away.
Well, it's so beautiful up there. That's
It
the thing
is.
it's just gorgeous up there, and, like, you know, to not screw it up, you know, do it the right way. And you were saying too, like, even if it went all the way to the Canadian border, like, then we can actually open up that border crossing again and stuff like that. That funnels more people in and out. So
Because the border at Eureka, I love it. I grew up close to the the Canada-U.S. border in Niagara Falls. It's a nightmare going through there. Going through the Canadian, I will never complain about our border here. It's the best. But it's still, when it's busy, like went up for the Calgary Stampede, we stood in line for, you know, 15, 20 minutes, which is nothing compared to where I'm from. But like, if we had two, it would make it that much more smooth, you know. So I don't know. We all got big ideas, and there's if you made it this far, God bless you. Thank you, Mom. I love you. But leave a comment in the thing. We did have another debate in the car: e-bikes or fixed geared bikes.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on e-bikes. Good or bad? Just tell us.
That's all we need to know.
Please.
And then we can get back to the other two people in the car.
But yeah, lots of things happening. Everybody's got big ideas. I'm excited about all these. I'm very excited about the tea kettle community. It's going to be really fun to watch come together. But there's all kinds of different developments. The stuff on Tronstad, the stuff on Whitefish Stage. I've been doing a lot of business in the Starling community. That's just south of the Glacier High School.
Yep.
And if you're entry-level homes, I think they're built by Tannenin. They're beautiful. Debbie Street with Wrangler Real Estate, she's representing those. She is awesome. I love working with her.
Yeah, that was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, man, and that community is going to be fantastic. That's one I really love. And back to Ruiz, he's got stuff all over the valley. He's got the silos. He's got all the stuff in downtown Columbia Falls. There's condos and stuff, and he's wrapping up the one in Whitefish. That's
right off Baker. It's right on that corner off of 93.
Yeah. So there's plenty of happening. Of course, the Elcos we've been talking about in Whitefish. Those are they're townhouses of sorts, and they've got like a 70-foot plus storage area underneath. It's vertical living above, and then underneath you can put in like your fifth wheel or side by sides or whatever. And those are really neat. I've never seen that concept before.
No, it's great.
And it's great for folks that they want to come spend their summers in Montana and leave their RV here.
Well, they have like the amazing outdoor living space too. Like there's whole rooftop decks, and some of them have beautiful views too.
So that's another one to follow, and the list just goes on and on. We could do a 5-hour conversation about
easily.
This. Honestly, I've been here since 2020, and when I came here, I saw like the shift. Right, I was right at the right.
You were
when
in the
it was
middle
really
of it.
starting, and I was like, wow, this place is really taken off. Like, I'm so glad I made this decision to come here, and we've seen this dip, in I call it leveling. I don't see it going backwards at all.
Nope.
And I think there's more development today and more improvements by far than what there was in 2020. So, like, if we're seeing these people make these big moves here in the valley still, and it's ramping up, it tells they know more than we do.
I mean, you read the tea leaves. Like seeing that happening is like we think we have some education, but there's people that have a lot more education in this. I mean, economists and everyone in between with their developers. Like people don't come and invest money in this much development and this much infrastructure if we're not seeing something happening.
Yep.
That's a reality.
Yep.
So
they believe in it. I certainly believe in it. I know you believe in it. We love this valley.
Love it.
And I'm so excited to see what it looks like for the next 30, 40 years of our lives. But I just hope that the people in those positions are thoughtful, and we continue to grow at a rate that we can handle, and it doesn't get out of control. But
there's growing pains all along the road, though. It's always going to happen.
But we don't need it to explode like some of these bigger markets. But it can be a little explosion. It can be an M80. Like we can do better. We can do more.
No M80 in the toilet.
But yeah, that's that. Last one, and then we'll get out of here. This might be the longest one we've done in a while. Tell me about your favorite new development.
Oh, well, we're going back to the old Terry Holmes builder, Mountain View.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Mountain View right now, and we were having a little bit of, not necessarily a debate, just a conversation about, we're representing some of those homes in there as of right now. And, I mean, I believe they're on their second townhome, so four are built as of right now, and they're consistently building more and selling lots in that area. And like basically it's on the Foys Lake roundabout off the bypass. Yep. So you go into Foys Lake Road, 112 Peaks, or sorry, we have 112 Peaks View listed, but it's Peaks View Drive.
Yep.
And what's interesting about this place is that right now you go into it, it's a construction zone.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to be 400, and I think it's
just over 400 homes.
Under 400 homes over a 10-year plan.
Yep. And there's different homes. There's townhouses. There's some cluster housing. There's single family homes. There's cottages.
There's cottages, yep. So all that's going to come out in different phases. Right now, they're focusing on the townhouses. They're focusing on the quadplexes. They're going to be coming down the line, I think, in 2026. And so it's a continued growth process. And we've been representing them, and people love the builds and the views and the location. Like, it's perfect.
The whole neighborhood is kind of like on a gently slope. So I feel pretty confident when I say most of the homes, they might be peekaboo, but a lot of them, especially this one in the very first phase, actually it will be the second phase when they get on the east side of the property, which is parallel to the bypass.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Anything on that side is you're just going to have spectacular views of the western front of the mountains looking over the city of Kalispell. But it's an exciting neighborhood. It's just the struggle is getting people to
want to live in a construction zone for a while.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. And but like it's going, you get
in now. No, you get in now. And the thing is, the pricing on it, especially the interest rate that Terry Homes is offering at this time. You know, I mean, they can get up to, what is it? It's a 4.875. I think I'm maybe starting at. Yeah, and there's different like ways to wiggle through that. But I mean, as it keeps building and the appreciation grows and everything else, like those homes aren't going to be under 500,000, even the townhomes eventually. So if like you get in now and just like, hey, I'm just going to be here for this, and they're going to be making the green space pretty soon here. They're going to be making the entry, so it'll feel like more of like a nice livable spot. Like it's a good value.
It's a really good value because we see these new builds in these communities and stuff, and those guys are they're great builders. They're quality people. I trust their product. I'm honored to be helping them. So
me too.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
I guess that's what we got.
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is valuable information. And by the way, I want to say, Ryan, thank you. That was really good information you just provided. Some of that stuff was super enlightening to me. Like, I didn't know all those things, even though we talk about that stuff. So let's just keep educating. And giving more information. Yeah,
and if you like this, please subscribe or like. I think I'm supposed to say that. And also too, like, shoot us an email. Drop us DM us, like, any topics that you guys have that you want to talk about or you have questions. Let us be your Google or boots on the ground. We know a lot more about this valley than we share. Publicly. And all realtors do, for that matter. You know, we got our finger on the pulse of what's happening here. So if you're curious about something, give us a call. We'll make you sign an NDA and we'll share some stuff with you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Hey, brother, thanks a lot.
Great conversation.
Yep, sounds good. Talk to you next month.